Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition. Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors, a Work Tough Gear Hollow King rendition, if you will. Guys, before we get started into it, first and foremost, shout out to the Shredder family. Man, we love y'all. Zeke, Papa, Mama, girls, we love y'all. Shout out to the Shredder family. Before we get into this thing, guys, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats show that number's going down, and I read another study the other day that said it's fluctuating. But here's the main thing, guys. Anything above zero is just unacceptable. And Betts, all we want you to know is, man, we love you. You have a place here. We back to blue over here. We support Leo all to the chagrin of many. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law, and when we do, because we accept responsibility for it. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. So this is the Hollow King. It is built by Mr. Victor Lynn over at Work Tough Gear. Awesome company. Y'all know I'm a huge fan of Work Tough Gear. This one is designed by Daniel Murray Lake. Now, he has a YouTube channel called Sundog Forge. Daniel's out of Australia, and that's where I'm going to stop with Daniel. Y'all know the way that I test or demonstrate knives is I don't read anything, or as little as I can on the designer, because I want to get their thoughts behind their design, okay? Now, so we're going to talk about the design first. First and foremost, first thing I see is that forward cant. It's got a slight kukri style to it, but I'm going to tell you, it has a couple things I love. It has that large working choil. It has a ramp on the back. It has a nice handle. Let me give y'all some specs, and then we can kind of get into more of the ins and outs. We're doing the Donnie B All-day drop test. Donnie B All-day throw it at the stump test. We're checking the tip. We're checking the edge. We're checking the balance. We're making sure the handle scales are on there good, etc., etc., etc. We're over at KIRKS doing this, so we're going to have some woods time. This is the Hollow King Solo, I believe is the name. It is designed by Daniel Murray Lake over at Sundog Forge in Australia. It's made from SK85, 1/4-inch blade stock. Now, the overall length, and I pulled these, okay, but the overall length is 15 7/8. Now, remember, it's on a curve. It's on that slight forward, or it's got a good forward cant. That's on the curve. The blade length is 10 3/4. The cutting edge is 9 1/2. The handle is 5 1/4. The inner grip is 4 inches. I'm always going to measure that inner grip. So that a large, extra large, XX hand can fit this handle. And again, that grip's on the curve, kind of a pistol grip style. Bear in mind, the handle width at the thickest, at the palm swell, is 1 inch. The handles are that machine G10 that I love. It's a saber grind with a convex cutting edge. This thing is just wicked. It's got some beautiful blue liners. And here's the thing, guys, and I want to make this very, very clear. I say it every video, so let me say it this one. This ain't the damn QVC. You buy it, you don't, I don't care. That's why I get excited about Work Tough Gear, and that's why I can get excited about Work Tough Gear, because whether you buy it or not, shocker, and if you're new here, I'm going to let you in on a little surprise. I do this because I'm passionate about knives. I do this because I love knives. I do this because it's fun, okay? It ain't shit about selling anything. Buy it, don't matter to me. It's a great knife. I'm going to pick out the attributes that I like, and I'm going to tell you the selling points, and I've said this before, I'll say it till I'm dead. Not only would I put my life on Work Tough Gear, I'd put my kids' life on it, my grandson's on it, my wife's on it. That's how much I believe in the company and Work Tough Gear. Fit and finish, 10 out of 10. Sharpness, 10 out of 10. Construction, 10 out of 10. Now let's go to the design. I wanted to get that out of the way because everything I get in my hand from them is a home run. I've got 35, 36 videos. You'll never hear me say, well, this was a little off. It's just not. This thing came sharp as shit out of the package. Y'all seen me cut the magazine paper there. That's why we've added that. Now, I asked Kirk to jump in on the chopping. I chop with power. I just do a swing hard, and I'm learning more and more and more to let the knife work. But I thought I'd give you a show of me swinging hard, and then Kirk, who knows what he's doing. And you notice how Kirk, it's rhythmic, it's pop, it's swinging like you're supposed to. Same amount of work's getting done, less effort. And Kirk, man, thank you for being in here, and thank you for introducing me to Work Tough Gear. Here's what I would tell you. not knowing anything on this knife, not really knowing Daniel's thought process behind the knife, if I had to guess, here's what I would say. I'd say it's a camp knife and a wood processing dream. Now, here's the deal, guys. Everybody knows I'm not an expert. Don't try to be. Will never pretend to be. Okay? The part of this channel, too, is just learning a skill set. The beautiful thing about this knife, when doing wood processing, whether it's batoning, chopping, slicing, is the knife actually does the work for you. I found myself a couple times with the chops just kind of sitting back a little bit more. Normally I'll blow through it. This time I let the knife work a little more. We're learning. Batoning right here. No hot spots whatsoever in the handle. Ample room to hold on to. I love that large blade. I love that it's 10 3/4 inches long. It's just a beast of a damn knife. It's got two long, beautiful fullers in it. At the end, at the very, very end, before we do our last paper cut, I'm going to show you the balance point on it. It's weighted very well. Daniel, great job, man, on the design. I'm just telling you, this is an all-encompassing knife. But when I see this knife, I think camp knife, wood processor. Now, what does that mean? Well, not just because it chops, not just because it batons. Later in the video, you're going to see, and we're going to do a quick, look at that edge, son. Look at that polished mirror edge. It's just badass. It just is. Now, we didn't focus as long or as much today on popping the trunk and cutting. I did some of that to give you guys a feel, but I want you guys to take into consideration this. Everything you see in this particular video was done in order. Okay, now watch this, just quick rub, and we're just going to cut that. Saw cut right there. What do I mean by that? Well, I batoned and I chopped before I did any cutting. Meant to edit that, my bad. So this is that 2-inch air hose. This is just like and I don't have a whole lot of this left, so I'll have to find some new mediums. And like I said, we're going to change some things up. But this is just a test. Here's what I did. Part of doing this particular cut is not just slicing, right? Part of it is learning to use the knife. Part of it, there goes the dog, part of it is getting a feel for the knife. I did the penetration cut where I just push in. Now, once we got it going, that wide, thick blade right there, man, that's a slicer's dream. It's sharp as shit. The edge is robust. That's what we'll go with for the edge, okay? You can have a sharp, robust edge. This particular knife proves it. And you see those fullers I was talking about there. Now, I think this is more of a drop point. It's got that look to it. Drop point, spear point right in there. But I just love the looks of this knife. It is conducive to camp tasks. With that wide blade, there's a variety of slicing you can do, okay? The edge that come on this is just wicked sharp. It really is. It's a robust. I think it's more for chopping and for batoning and things like that. But a little bit of this or that, and you can have whatever you want. Now, that's not to say this won't slice, because here in a few, I'm going to show you, and we did a couple different things here cutting this. Again, yes, I want to demonstrate the knife. Yes, I want to show you how bad it is. Yes, I want to show you, or how badass it is. Yes, I want to show you how sharp, how tough, how all of those things. But part of my videos too, guys, is me learning. You notice the second cut went a lot quicker than the first cut. Now here we're going to do the John Peters stab test. I like doing this test. It's not just a stab test per se. We're not just seeing if the knife can stab. Of course the knife can stab. It's got a point. But we're seeing if there's any slippage in that handle. We're seeing if there's any hot spots in that handle. We're seeing if we have to adjust our hand in any way. And I've seen right there, I missed the whole damn thing. But we leave that in because we learn, right? This thing, it's just comfort personified. That's the other reason I keep going back to a camp knife. Now, here we got a couple of pieces of that small ratchet strap or shorter piece of ratchet strap, 2 inches long. And you see right there, the tip's just as sharp as the meat of the blade. I love this particular test. I think it's good and it's conducive to hunting. If you were skinning, caping, whatever, it just pulls. Now, I got it right there at the very end, but I want y'all to see something right here. We just slide it in, zip, gone, just like that. Now, this is a little different. This is that 1 inch, something like that, sandblast hose. It is still belted. but I decided to cut it this way, kind of sticking straight up, because you don't have as much control. We're going to do it again because we don't do anything once on CCO. Very, very, very impressed with this knife. Again, guys, we're cutting through steel belt. Now, I screwed up right there, and I do that every now and then. It was too short for my little fat fingers, so we're going to try it, and I'm going to get aggravated, and then I'm just going to cut it the regular way. There it goes. Knife super sharp. If it'll cut through that steel belt and this 2-inch ratchet strap, let's watch. No problem. And you'll notice, too, that I've learned on the ratchet strap, I might pull hard one time, but then I just want to do some cuts. I just want the knife to work. That's what I want to show you. Now, this right here is a little split in the log. Stole this from Grugsy over at Legion Tacticool, but I think it's a cool way to baton and work some wood down. And to me, this is a woodworking machine. Again, guys, this knife, if you're at camp, you can process, you can chop, you can baton. I guarantee you. Now, this is a the thing about this, guys, this was a 4x4. This was a pressure-treated 4x4. And what I'm doing right here, and what you're going to see over the next few weeks, over the knives we demonstrate, and a lot more with the Work Tough gear stuff, is busting this stuff all the way down, getting it into thin strips, taking it over to KIRKS, and then using it for a lot of fires. Now, what you're going to see right here is just a lot of batoning. I put this thing through the ringer when it comes to batoning. Most of this stuff is pressure treated. There's a knot right there. We just kept going and going and going and going and going and going, okay? Put as much stress on that blade because that's the other part of my Work Tough gear videos. It's not just a learning thing. It's not just showing you the knife and introducing you to the designer. It is checking the tough in Work Tough gear. You notice in this video we baton more than anything else. And right here, I want y'all just to pay attention. Be quiet for a minute. Y'all see all them little curls? That's curled up. I'm going to show you. I'm going to get a handful of them here at the end so you can see what kind of slicing machine this is. Just what kind of wood processor. Now watch this as it goes down. I should have slowed it down. But y'all see him just running down you see the little curls running all the way the length of that stick with it. Look at that. Look at that. That's insane, man. This thing is a dream. And I've got the fencer's grip. I'm choked up into that choil. I'm locked in. Very, very controllable. Love the knife. And again, Daniel, man, awesome design. There's a lot of thought went into this design. I'm telling you, this knife right here, if this was the only knife I had, I'm fine. I don't say that a lot, but I'm telling you right now, that's the way we demonstrate each knife. That's the proof's in the pudding, guys. And right there it is. Now let's take a few minutes. Donnie B All-day, my brother from another mother. Go check him out. Joe, Steel Forged and Fire Sword and Knife. Grugsy, Legion Tacticool. Pistol Pete, awesome channel. Angry Dracula. Pistol Pete and Drac are trying to get to 1,000. Let's help them get there. Okay? My guy Freedom Frog Gear, Andrew Motta. There's a lot of guys over these next few weeks. I'm going to be changing the shout-outs out up some too. Bushcrafter, that's the name of his channel. Great channel. And again, the Shredder knife reviews. Now, guys, we got less than a minute. But look at that right there. I keep saying it, but I love this design. You're going to see this blade again. You're going to see this blade on a camp. That's one thing. There's the balance point. You can see it's well balanced, moving around a little bit, so it's not some chicanery. It's just a great knife, man. I'm going to do another review with it because I love it. I wanted to get the initial thoughts out. My initial thoughts is it's badass. It is a wood processing machine. Straight up home run, Daniel. I love it. And here's what everybody has to understand right here. I'm Scab. You're not. Holler King's badass. I'm gone, son.